So guys, previously we talked about three things that I was trying to predict that were going to be added. Of course, I try to predict stuff that are more feasible and stuff that is just, more realistic on the terms of thinking what Gaijin is thinking about adding, right? So I talked about some, seed and some aircraft and stuff. But here are the three things that I think personally that we need in the next major. These are not things that Gaijin is probably planning, and it's not something that we will probably see. But I still believe that these three things are stuff that we just need to be having in the game. The first one is the RRB rework. Or, I kind of brought a general idea here, but basically what we talked about during the week, right? Where we need RRB to be a little bit more engaging, to have more objectives, and try in a certain way to have what ground actually already has, which is the variety of gameplay styles that you can have because of different vehicles, right? At the end of the day, ground vehicles, we have AAs, we have light tanks, medium tanks, heavy tanks, we have tank destroyers, ATGM launchers. Each of these vehicles, reconnaissance vehicles, right? Each of these vehicles will have a certain particular way for you to play the game. While in the air realistic, you will feel that more times than not, every single other type of vehicle that you try to play with is gonna fail a little bit, and the only type of vehicle that actually is feasible to actually use competitively and have fun playing with it, etc., is with fighters. And of course, I understand a little bit on how, because every single tank in the game can kill other tanks, right? Who, at the same time, when you actually take a look on some of these aircraft, like bombers and stuff, they will not be able to kill other, player vehicles sometimes. But still, we need some RRB rework, game mode rework, I don't know exactly, objectives, everything that we talked about during that video. We need that so that RRB can become, to be honest, as fun as ground, because ground is more fun than air in the terms of the game mode itself, what it introduces. And I'm not saying it's perfect, because there's a bunch of problems with ground as well, right? But, in a general perspective, it is still, I think, a little bit more engaging on the terms of different gameplay styles, what you can do with different vehicles, etc. Okay? So this is the first one. The second one is something that we talked about before as well, which is more BR decompression, but in the terms of having a general perspective of a slow progress of better and higher BRs. What I mean about that is that maybe in this update, we will not have, obviously, a 15.0 BR. But why not try to push to 14.7? And then, of course, in the lower BR ranges, they try to reorganize them in the next upcoming patch cycle. Maybe not in the, next up, maybe a little bit longer than that, because obviously, we have a patch right now, and then in December we have another one, so it's a very short window. But maybe between the December one or this October one, November one, and the first update of 2026, we can have the 14.7 and all the previous BRs being reorganized, being basically brought up to date on the decompression. And then after that, we can have the jump to 15.0 and slowly progressing so that QE times don't increase severely, that everybody get accustomed to it. Maybe with feedback on the forums and everything, maybe with polls and stuff, we can actually have stuff that would help the BR decompression. But I think we desperately need that, although it does help having 14.3. That 14.3 increase didn't really push downwards, and many of the BRs, especially between 8.0 and 11.0, I still believe that are a little bit problematic, or even 12.0, to be honest. We have a lot of BRs there that are still very much compressed, where you see a lot of aircraft especially, but some tanks as well, facing stuff that are years beyond their current capabilities, in my opinion. Okay, so that would help a bit. And the last thing that I would really ask for it is the reintroduction of the roadmap. Yes, guys, roadmaps are great. Gaijin, if you're listening to this, everybody loves the roadmaps, okay? Get back with the roadmaps. Why is that a good thing? Because you can test the opinion of players on stuff, okay? If you are saying what you want to introduce to the game, I know it takes a little bit out of the novelty factor, which is, it can be a problem, you know, for a marketing perspective of a game, you know, commercial game. But at the same time, we're not asking for people, like for Gaijin to release the lists of vehicles that they're, you know, researching and developing and everything, right? I'm talking about basically the roadmap for the changes that are core to the game, right? Game mode changes, UI changes, gameplay changes, etc., right? Stuff that are planned to be added in the future, that are basically going to work on the inner bits of the game, right? That would be a great help. I think we already proved that it is a good idea. First of all, because like I said before, we can test it out, the opinion of the game base, right? So, for example, if there is an introduction of, you know, a certain mechanic being planned, they are, you know, developing a lot of, you know, like investing a lot of resources, time, money, of course, into that new mechanic, but maybe it's something that nobody wants it, for example. I don't know, like, you know, you would be able to test it out because you would say what we are planning to add for the future. Again, we're not saying about, oh, when is the F-22 coming? No. I'm saying, like, when is the next BR decompression is going to come? When is the next difference, or what is your plans on air RB changes, on ground RB changes, or UI, or new mechanics, etc., right? That would make a lot more sense, in my opinion, and honestly, it would be more reasonable, I think, than just trying to surprise us, which is a good marketing thing because it draws a lot of attention. But to be honest, every single patch will already have that, you know, extra attention. So sometimes new mechanics, like for example the radar mechanic that they just added, which is insanely good, with the buttons and everything, sometimes it gets a little bit hidden, you know, in the middle of the patch because of the new vehicle. So if they do that, the roadmaps can actually highlight this type of thing, which is actually the major thing that really helps the game. New vehicles are amazing, but new things like that, changes that improve the quality of life and the gameplay itself, will make the game much better. And they are trying to do that. I can see they are trying to do that. But the roadmap would really help with kind of aligning the community with the War Thunder base. And together with that, maybe more Q&As, stuff like that would always help, okay? So these are it. These are the three things that I think we need to have either in the next major, you know, update cycle, right? Let me know in the comments down below what is yours, and I see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe, and bye guys, see ya.